Alrighty, we are back. I just wasted 40 minutes of my life recording the first take, just for it to not even record my voice, but here we are. I'm gonna say this. I don't know if this is the kind of video that anybody would be expecting, nor myself to be making right now, but we'll just get to the details. So, this is a situation between me, 𝙤𝙤𝙙𝙀, and 𝘾𝙧𝙀, except there is more information between me and 𝙤𝙤𝙀 than there is between me and 𝘾𝙧𝙀. Okay, so you might be asking why I'm making this video, and then Katie might be asking why am I making this video, even though I even told her that we should just keep it private, blah blah blah. So to answer your question, it's because the voice recording that I sent you, which I will explain, well, not explain, but I will show you the voice recording I sent to Katie in the next part of this exposure, but we're going to talk about part 1 of the quote-unquote drama between me, 𝙤𝙤𝙙𝙀, and 𝘾𝙧𝙀. So, 𝙤𝙤𝙙𝙀 is a gotchatuber with over 100,000 subscribers who is mostly known for her Melanie Martinez edits on her YouTube shorts, along with her FNAF Circus AU, which I believe is currently discontinued due to lore issues. 𝘾𝙧𝙀 is also a FNAF gotchatuber who is mostly famous for her video, Michael Meets His Abusive Ex. So to start off with this first part of the exposure, I'm going to read a message that I sent to Katie from February 9th, 2025 at 11:19 in the morning in my time zone. And I'm going to explain basically everything that I say in this message. So, beware of warnings such as sexism, racism, and possibly other triggering topics, which kind of mostly revolve around mental and physical health, but more mental health than physical health. So, I'll start off by reading my message. Hi, I don't know if this is the kind of DM you'd expect from me. Normally, I'd avoid giving people these types of messages, especially since it's 2025. I don't want to be associated with anything bad, really, but I just feel like this needed to be said to you. I've had a lot of thought these past weeks/months, and honestly, I want to say that I don't think I can be your friend anymore. I don't think I'm able to be your friend mentally, especially after how you've treated me. I know that this is very ironic considering the last chat we had together, but please, I'll explain. Let me pause right here. So with the last chat we had together part, like the previous day, I believe, Katie had asked me if like I was annoyed by her, something along the lines of, are you annoyed by me, or something like that, and I said no, because I genuinely wasn't, because I wasn't thinking too much of anything at that moment. So, ever since the first time we had problems, I didn't think too much of it, but I knew that it was simply something I didn't want to happen again. Remember, when you insulted me and my designs, you apologized, yes, but I told myself if anything stupid like that happened again, then I don't know if I'd be able to take it, because I want to be able to be in a healthy friendship, and not just that, I want to be able to feel that I am loved by said friend. I'll elaborate on this as well. After that first encounterment, I remember later on pointing you out for your whitewash tormentors. I told you that it was bad and that you should fix it because it wasn't their canonical skin tones. You basically told me that you didn't care. Well, she didn't tell me this, but it felt like she told me that. That you didn't care since your channel was quote-unquote dead, and that people never pointed you out for it. Which I have literal screenshots of her saying those exact words. Just because nobody has said anything doesn't mean that what you're doing is okay. Whitewashing, or even blackwashing for that matter, can be offensive and is often said to be racist because you didn't go by the original skin tones from said creator. Scott Cawthon made his characters the way that they are, and it's just wrong to change them, especially like that. I understand that people have their own versions of their designs, but at least they keep the important things intact. I know that it's your AU, but that isn't an excuse in this situation. Your AU or not, whitewashing cannot and will not be justified. All I can say is that it's a quote-unquote racist move, especially from you. Reason I say quote-unquote is because I didn't put quotes in my message, but it wasn't my intention to call her completely racist for whitewashing. In my point of view, I believe that she was partially being racist because she was self-aware that they weren't the correct skin tone. All I can say is that it's a racist move, especially from you, and you just pushed what I told you away as if it was nothing. You made me feel like my opinion didn't matter and that you simply did not care about what I had to say. You thought I forgot about that? No, I didn't. That is one of the things I still currently hold against you. I just don't talk about it as much as I should. But here we are. I've even gotten advice that I should call you out for it, but I don't. Why? I have gotten advice, actually, yes. I'll pause right there. From two people. One of the people who will be mentioned in the second part of this exposure, because they're not really as involved in this first part. And the second person, I'll just keep their name silent because they're not really involved at all anymore. They weren't involved to begin with, but they were just helping me because I asked for advice. I was not crap talking on anybody to any of these two people. I was just asking for advice. Can I clear that out twice? But I don't. Why? Because no matter what happens, nothing will change. No matter how many people say it, I bet you'll still keep them the same, right? Because whitewashing characters is okay since no one says anything. Really? I don't think so. Recently, the situation from your server, that was not entirely my fault, and I've tried to justify that with you, but you have constantly made me feel bad, and you made me feel horrible for even speaking out on my opinion in the first place. I'm your friend. Even if something I say is rude, instead of berating me and constantly making me feel bad about myself, you could talk to me gently about it instead of the aggression you show when we talk about something serious. I never really am serious with you, and I had never planned to be either. I just think if I were to be serious with you, you wouldn't care. You'd probably think it was a joke, that I'd still be your friend after all of this. Yeah, I did try my best to keep giving you chances, but I just felt like you took it to advantage. And I know because I've honestly made this mistake way too many times in the past 3 years. I don't even know what else to tell you anymore. I just really don't know. I'm going to avoid saying any of the curse words that I say in this message just in case YouTube doesn't like it. I don't know if I can handle being your friend anymore. It's too much. Everything is too much. And then I'm being the judgmental one? You have been mentally abusing me and taking my words for granted since the day you insulted me in my designs. Because I kept giving you chances and you kept taking advantage of it and not even caring about how it affected me nor made me feel. You never cared at all, didn't you? Why do I want to hurt you so bad? I just wanted to be your friend. And I pause again on that part. I said that part not as a threat of physical violence. That was not the message right there. It was a quote from, I think, a show, but in a way it was still relevant to me when I was typing this because it also kind of described how I felt. I just wanted to be your friend, but you never cared, didn't you? Of course not. It was all a hoax. Everything? Was it even real? All you see me as the judgment piece of crap who complains, don't you? Because every time I give you advice, you're telling me I'm complaining about it. I'm the only one who complains about it. You never take anything like that seriously because, oh, my channel's dead, it's my AU. Your AU, that's a load of bullcrap, dude. The AU thing is the biggest and the weakest excuse ever. But you don't care, right? It's your AU. Nobody could ever judge it. Well, guess what? Jump into reality and give yourself a check. Everyone's AUs get judged. No matter who you are or how good your content is, you will be judged. Why? It's YouTube. Everyone judges everybody no matter what. There is not one person on this planet who has not gotten hate. I really don't know how else to end it. I really don't know what to do. And you know what? I am so tired. I am so tired of trying to help, of trying to give you advice, of trying to convince you to do the right thing. And you may think that our friendship is ending over something stupid, that it isn't a big deal. It's a huge deal, even if it doesn't seem like it to you. People whitewash and get away with it because a lot of people are too afraid to stand up to them because they get hate. especially with larger creators. If you use FNAF to create an AU, the least you can do is keep Scott's characters canonical, especially since they have 8-bit designs. They aren't yours. Even if they have different names, different lives, different designs minus the skin tones, they're still the FNAF 4 tormentors. You still whitewash them, and you have never changed it at all since I told you the first time. And I have never publicly stood up against you, until now. Why? Because I had it in my heart to think that you could change for the better, especially after you've insulted me so many times because you were just jealous of me, which she has actually admitted. What kind of friend does that? Tell me that. But I'm the bad one, of course. I'm going to skip this part because I was really upset, so I typed some other things that aren't exactly relevant. But it was just saying like that, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of that, basically. I'll just continue with like the last 2 words because those are more relevant. I am tired of feeling like my words don't matter. I am tired of not being defended or even comforted by my own friend. I am tired of having to sit here and type this message just because you can't realize that you're a bad friend. I don't even know what's worth it. What's my purpose? What's the purpose? To find better friends? To find people who don't give a crap about me? Or to find happiness? I hope you have a nice life because I'm done. By the time you read this, you have been blocked. I understand that at a lot of points you did was out of envy or just for being stupid, but it really has hurt my feelings. A little too much to say. Being your friend has completely drained me and has lowered my mental health by a substantial amount. I just can't do it anymore, Katie. I feel like I am always your last option. If nobody else answers, then it's me. If you choose me first, then that's a rare sight. An issue I've had a lot with you is that I feel like you should know is the publicization of our dramas. I always mess up on that word. Whenever you constantly make vents about me, you include my name and put it out there like that. No initial, nothing. You just put my name on there to get people to speak out and say something when most of the time, whether you've realized it or not, it wasn't even my fault. The fact that you even put my name on your vents to begin with just generally hurt my feelings. None of the friends I've had in the past had never done something like that, and everybody knows that by itself is simply crossing so many boundaries. Of course, it's not about my reputation. I just hate seeing that my own friend just spreads and springs my name out there like I'm some kind of joke to constantly play with as a token to yours or anyone else's satisfaction. I hate how you've always made me feel like I was at the bottom of the pile. I feel like you always had it out for me and I don't know why. I know you don't like me, and that's fine. But why did you have to show it so much? Why? Was it because I had more friends to the point where you had to constantly ask me to involve them in stuff? Was it because you were jealous that I had more recognition even though you're a bigger channel than me? Or was it because you just never liked me to begin with? You wanted to use me to make yourself feel better. Why don't you like me? What did I ever do to you to make you hate me so much? Sometimes I feel like we were never even friends, just strangers, destined to make each other run away again. Okay, so for the first part, I can explain that where she insulted me in my designs. So basically what happened was that Katie had made a post saying that she's going to rate everybody's channels, quote unquote, brutally honest. Please don't get offended or mad at me for this. Y'all chose it. Which, y'all chose it. She made a poll, I believe, because this was a few months ago. She made a poll asking what kind of post she should make, and I guess people voted for that. So I seen that 2 people, Killer and another person, I won't mention their name just in case. They're not involved, it's just another viewer. So I saw that they got rated, and it seemed pretty chill, so I shared the post and I tagged her in it, and this is her response. Too shiny, too much shakes, your CC looks like he came from 2020. Elizabeth's markings on her face look like she was playing in the mud. I still very much love your tweening. I'm jealous, 7 out of 10. So the problem with this is that later on, she started rating more people, and at the time, my former friend, had noticed something. she looked at the post and she told me that basically Katie was being unfair. Like, I will show the ratings right now, but if you can tell right away, then she gave everybody good compliments. She told people that their stuff was well made, blah blah blah. But when you look at my comment, when you look at my rating compared to everybody else's, like, it says, too shiny, too much shakes, your CC looks like he came from 2020, the markings on her face look like mud, or whatever. You look at that comment, and you look at the rest of them, where she's saying stuff like, I love your art, your designs are cool, my mouth dropped when I clicked on your page, your designs are cool, I like the colors, you're so underrated, your editing style is good, your character designs are well made, I love your editing and tweening so much, your tweening is good, but there's room for improvement. Your tweening could use some work. I like the character designs. Your designs are so pretty. But then mine, she literally insults my designs and my style of editing, and then proceeds to say that she's jealous. She's jealous of me, which is why she said that. My response was, ouch, I didn't expect it to be like that. But to be fair, you're kind of right about CC. I made him around like 2021/2022, which is true. I've had his design for almost 4 years. This year will be the 4th year I've had his current design. But at this time when I commented, I wasn't as offended when people said this type of stuff about my characters. But now I don't like it as much when people say that my characters look stereotypical, because I have tried so hard to make my AU and my channel stand out that it gets really annoying to see those comments. But of course, I don't like attack people for that or anything. I'll like either just heart it and move on, or I'll just like ignore it. But Katie responds, also you type in all caps with a skull emoji. That was completely unrelated to like anything. Yes, I typed the message in all caps, but that's how I talk. Okay? It's like you're criticizing me for every single thing I do. You didn't criticize everybody else for talking in all caps, did you? You didn't criticize people for the way they talk. You didn't criticize people for the way that they show things. You didn't criticize people for the way they sound. You didn't criticize me for how I sound, but I'm just giving that as an example. You didn't criticize anybody for anything that they did besides their channels. Like, that was the point. You're not supposed to criticize me on how I speak. So basically just said, oh, and then she said, like, sorry, I still like everything you do. And then my former friend, the one who let me know that she was being completely unfair to my designs and stuff. Okay, so what's the next part? Oh yeah, so my former friend, she made a comment calling them out as well, because she was the one who noticed first about the ratings, and basically she was saying that it was wrong, that she criticized everybody except for me, and yeah. And then Katie deleted the post eventually, and she said that she was sorry, she didn't mean to offend me or anything, which is what I meant by she apologized. So I was just like, in my head I was thinking like, okay, I'll accept your apology, but if something else like this happens again, then I'm not going to be your friend. The second part was when she whitewashed her FNAF 4 tormentors. It says, I remember later on pointing you out for your whitewashed tormentors. I told you that it was bad and that you should fix it because it wasn't their canonical skin tones. You basically told me that you didn't care since your channel was quote-unquote dead and people never called you out for it. So I commented on her channel and about calling her out for her designs, and she responds, I know, but is there a problem with it? Do I need to change it? And I said, yeah, because their canon skin tone is darker. It would create controversy if other people who take this as offensive because they might see it as racist due to the fact that you made them white instead of using their original skin color. An hour later, she says, okay, I'll change their designs. Sorry for the late reply, I was busy. This is the message 2 hours later. Sorry if I'm going to sound rude, but there's other people who have their tormentors different skin colors or even different genders. I don't know why mine is different, and it's not like I got rid of someone who has a darker skin color. You didn't get rid of someone who has a darker skin color, you got rid of their skin color. There's a difference. Frederick is, aka the Freddy mask, is darker than the rest with a skin disease. Skin disease does not justify here. Like, if he has, I don't actually know, so I can't bring up an example. I didn't do my research on this part, but I don't think that's a justification to changing a character's entire skin tone. Oh my god. I also really like how I designed them, but if it's a really big problem to you, in parentheses, to you because you complained about it, no one else did, end of parentheses, then I'll change it. See, your problem here is, not your problem, but like the issue in here is that I was not complaining about it. I was giving you advice about how to fix your characters because I didn't want people to start correcting you or attacking you for it because you were whitewashing. I was trying to make you see the right thing and to make you do the right thing by giving you that advice. I was trying to help you so that people in the future wouldn't actually end up attacking you, even though you said people didn't attack you now. That doesn't matter. People would attack you eventually. It's YouTube. People see everything. I've been called out for my whitewash tormentors in the past too, so I know how that's like. And yeah, that me saying that can make me contradict myself, but at least I'm admitting it. I'm admitting it. I have whitewashed the tormentors in like about 3 years ago, and people called me out for it, so I changed it. Regardless of what the design looked like, regardless of my AU, I changed it because I knew it was the right thing to do. Okay, and then this is where we bring up Killer. This and the stuff I'm going to talk about in part 2 is the only involvement that Killer has in here. I said, sighs because this is the second time I've sadly had to tell my friends this. You whitewashed all of the tormentors except for Simon. I don't know if you realize that or not, but you know whitewashing is bad, right? And please don't say it's your AU because AU doesn't excuse whitewashing characters since that's kind of being racist. Okay, Killer says, no, because Mark is actually a bit darker than Mike and Jeremy. You just can't tell that much. Well, Mike and Jeremy are actually like that. Plus, I know Mark is supposed to be a bit darker, like more tan since he's probably Hispanic like me, but I've already gotten used to him being like this, so... Okay, so you don't actually know what Mark's ethnicity or his race is, so you can't say that he's probably supposed to be Hispanic. And I'm pretty sure he and Simon are like close to like the more darkest colored skin out of like all the tormentors. So I don't think Mark is tan. I'm pretty sure he's darker than tan. And I've already gotten used to him like this, so just because you're used to the designs doesn't mean you can't do the right thing and fix your mistakes. My response is, Mark has darker skin than Simon, but a bit lighter. Mike has tan skin, unless you follow a theory, which was like the two Foxy Bros, since one of them is white and one of them is tan. And the Freddy mask is also supposed to be tan. And no offense, but the fact that you just implied that you're not going to fix it because you're used to the designs is kind of racist if you ask me, especially since you're self-aware that he's supposed to be darker. It doesn't matter if you're used to it or not, you should always just do the right thing regardless. I say the fact that she said she's kind of used to it is kind of racist. I'm not completely accusing her of being racist. I'm just saying that it makes her a little bit, like in my opinion, it makes her a little bit racist because of that comment. She responds saying, I swear I'm not being racist, it's just the fact that if I change something like that, then people will start to complain and I don't know what to do. It's your channel, it's your designs, just do the right thing. People complaining about it should be the least of your problems. You should just do what's right, because it's better to be right than to be wrong. She makes a vent post saying, I'm sorry, I'm just always afraid to make mistakes or make people mad. I never know which side to pick. I never know what to do. I'm not like them. I'm not racist. A small mistake like that, it can't make me racist. Yeah. No, it does not make you completely racist. It makes you a little bit racist, especially since you denied at changing them after I told you that what you did was wrong. Okay, I'm gonna say right now, Katie, call me Katie. You are not in trouble or anything. I have no beef with you. You're a good person, you're a good friend, but I might mention your name a little bit, just because, a little bit in both parts, just because, like, your comments make you a tiny bit involved. Not in a bad way, but Call Me Katie comments on Killer's post, and she says, "Wait, are you okay? You seem really anxious and panicked right now. Do you need to talk?" Killer says, "Yeah, I'm afraid I might have made Eve mad. He was talking about how I whitewashed the 4 tormentors except for Simon, and then I told him about the whole thing, that I know Mark being a tan skin color, but I got used to it so I didn't change it, but then he found that a little bit racist. I mean, I'm the same race as Mark, so if it really is racist, then when I fixed him up, he deleted his comment and then wouldn't respond to me. So I don't know if I did a good or a bad thing, but being called racist kind of triggered me, and then I'm not going to say that last part because that is completely private to Killer's real life. So a flaw is that I know about Mark being a tan skin color, and I'm the same race as Mark, so if it really makes me racist, okay, so we don't really know their ethnicities or their races, we just know their skin tone. Because he could be more than just Hispanic out of his skin tone. It could be something completely different. And then I deleted my comment because I didn't want more people to see it and get involved and interact, which is why I stopped responding to you. Call Me Katie responds saying, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sure that Eve will forgive you and it'll all blow over. Sending hugs, and I promise everything will be back to normal tomorrow." And then Katie comes in 7 hours later and says, "He told me that too. He said that I whitewashed Justin, aka the Chica Mask bully in her universe. But my thing is that I didn't originally know that he was black or dark." You could have said that, but instead you chose to say that you were used to his design and that you weren't going to change it. So suddenly you're saying you didn't know that he was dark-skinned, even though you told me that you knew. So that's contradictory. Okay. But I didn't change it because Mark and Justin are twins, so it wouldn't work out. I love Eve with all my heart, but I feel like he might be a bit judgmental, or just, I don't know, because he said that with me and now with you. I remember panicking too until one of Katie's friends said that I'm not racist because I at least have someone who's a different skin color, and other AUs have the Chica Mask bully white, so I don't know what Eve's problem is with us. So, I already went over the first part, but I'm not being judgmental. I was giving you advice and trying to help you so that you wouldn't get attacked by anybody. Because like I told you, there are a lot of people out there who could comment worse things than I did to you. Everything that I told you, I wasn't even being aggressive. I wasn't even cursing at you. I wasn't saying nothing. There are other people who literally curse at you for whitewashing. Okay. She makes a vent because it's an expired community post on her account and saying, "After reading some things, that just hurts," and then insert probably my name, I was assuming. She says, "Justin is black and no longer Mark's twin. Happy. Also, since you don't feel any remorse and just playing Roblox like nothing happened, I really don't want to say it, but if we're racist in your eyes, then Simon shouldn't be a girl in your AU. Thank you for breaking my heart into tiny little atoms, yet I still want to be your friend because unlike you, I get attached easily. And this is all heartbreaking. The losing friends pile just keeps getting fuller." So this is a combination of like guilt trip and contradicting. So Justin is no longer black and no longer Mark's twin. You could have changed their skin tones to be more canonical, but they could have just been like fraternal twins or something. Well, I think they are actually in her AU, but they could have stayed fraternal twins. Like, even like me and my sister, even if you have a little bit of different skin tone, like, it doesn't change the fact that they could be siblings. They can be siblings still if you wanted to make them siblings. Also, since you don't feel any remorse and you're just playing Roblox like nothing happened. Okay, and so I was already planning that stream the day of, so I was still going to do it anyways, regardless of the drama. Which might sound like a bad thing, but I had still planned to do my stream like I promised my viewers, so the fact that you are bold to assume that I didn't feel any remorse is just kind of insensitive. If we're racist in your eyes, then Simon shouldn't be a girl in your AU. Sexism and racism isn't the same thing, especially since making the Chica Mask a female in my universe isn't exactly sexism. Sexism is mostly being discriminatory between both female and male genders, like the stereotypes of like women should go be in the kitchen, or like men should be like, I don't know, or men should pay the bills, men should be gentlemen, stuff like that. Like, that's what sexism is. Me being sexist, I'm not being sexist because I made the Chica Mask a female. Thank you for breaking my heart into tiny little atoms. Yeah, I still want to be your friend because unlike you, I get attached easily. The losing friends pile just keeps getting fuller. This last part was meant to be a guilt trip, I'm pretty sure, because you completely over-exaggerated your heart breaking just because we stopped being friends. And again, bold of you to assume that I don't get attached easily because I've also been through a lot with friends and stuff in the past, but that's unrelated. Okay, the next part. I basically went over most of this stuff because it was mostly like the, oh wait, no. I'm a liar, okay. Recently, the situation from your server, I'm pretty sure this is the last part. Yeah, this is the last part. Recently, the situation from your server, that was not entirely my fault, and I've tried to justify that with you, but you've constantly made me feel bad about speaking my opinion in the first place. So, about that part, I was in Katie's server one day, and we were just talking, right, with a few of our other friends, along with, like, one of Katie's fans. And so I basically kind of found this person like a little bit annoying because they were like constantly trying to one-up everybody by saying like, I can be more chaotic than you, I can do this better than you, I can do this, blah, 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 this. So it was like really starting to annoy me. So I shouldn't have said this to begin with, but I'm going to say it anyways. I said, I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it anymore, and basically, Katie told me to just say it, and I said to her fan, which was the person who I thought was annoying, I told them, because I don't remember, I told them that I think they were kind of being annoying, and I asked if they could stop, and I immediately started apologizing after that because I knew it was rude to say that, but I feel like sometimes it's better to just say something instead of bottling up your feelings, which is hard for a lot of people. And so I said that, and then I started apologizing, and then the person kept spamming like 3 little dots in the chat, and then Katie actually started to blame me, saying that I shouldn't have said anything in the first place, even though she was the one who just told me to say it anyways. I left the server, and then she came to talk to me, and I was just like, the fact that you didn't even like comfort, like you didn't even comfort me, like you were just blaming me the entire time, like saying that it was my fault because that person completely idolized you and you didn't want them to see you as a bad person because you were defending me, or because you were like trying to talk to me and confront me about what I said, even though you were the one who told me to say it in the first place. I said, not cool. And then she started to eventually realize that what she did was wrong, and she apologized to me. And yeah. So that was a small thing, but it was still an issue that I felt like needed to be said regardless. For the most part, that's about it for this first part of the exposure video. The next part, I will talk about their April Fool's prank that they did and why I think it was way too far. And how it actually affected me too because of a lot of things that I said in this first part. I will also be mentioning like 2 new people, one of them whose names I'll keep enclosed and one of them whose names I will probably ask them for permission first to mention them in the video, just to see if it's okay, but I'm pretty sure both Katie and Killer both know who she is by now. I don't know how to end this part off, but it's almost 40 minutes long. Would you look at that? I think the next part might be longer because I'll be discussing the voice message that I sent to Katie about her April Fool's prank, which is about 15 minutes long, and I'll be talking about that. So yeah, this is part 1. Hopefully part 2 will be out soon. If not, the latest it should be out is next weekend. Thank you to whoever listened, and I'm honestly very sorry if some people are let down by this, because honestly I didn't expect it either. But nobody is obligated to choose sides. Nobody should go on and attack Katie or Killer because it's just going to cause more drama. I just wanted to spread awareness of what's been happening with me, Katie, and Killer, especially because of those who have seen like the posts from her account and Killer's account and my alt account from like the past few months. Like, at least when those things happened, I just wanted to get this out clear, especially because in almost 24 hours, Katie has ignored my voice message that I sent to her and has now recently claimed that it's just because I said not to talk to her. Yes, I told her not to talk to me, but that does not mean... I told her not to talk to me, but in that context, I basically wanted her to respond first and then not talk to me. I didn't send her a voice message just for me not to want her to respond. Katie, I wanted you to respond so I knew that you at least looked at it, and that you at least finally knew how I felt before we crossed. I meant that I wanted you to stop talking to me after you respond. Alright. I don't know if she's even going to watch this whole thing, but if she doesn't, that's fine, because most of this is just going over stuff that she and I have already said, because I'm just giving you guys a full overview of what has completely happened, since our community posts have definitely thrown people off lately. Well, not lately, but at the time that it was happening. Have a good day. I'll be back with part 2, hopefully in a week or less.